Donald Trump issued another flurry of picks for his new administration last night, 6 in 1 hour to be exact. His team also signed a critical document after weeks of delay, allowing his picks to begin actually meeting with their Biden-era counterparts ahead of the January transition. A statement from the incoming White House Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, reads in part, quote, "This engagement allows our intended cabinet nominees to begin critical preparations and complete the orderly transition of power." CBS News senior White House correspondent Weijia Jiang is live in West Palm Beach, Florida, and she joins me now. Weijia, good to see you. Explain what this memorandum of understanding is and what can happen now that this key agreement has finally been announced.
Vlad, it's always great to see you. So this memorandum, known as an MOU, is a very typical document that is shared between the current administration and incoming administration that basically triggers the official transition between the two. And so counterparts incoming will be able to meet with the current people there so they have a clear understanding of the job, of the role, and of the current work that they're doing in case they do want to extend that. And you did mention that this is delayed. Typically, this is signed back in January. The Harris-Walz transition team signed this months ago. So this is quite a delay, Vlad, because as you know, the inauguration is less than 2 months away. So you can imagine sort of the late start that they are getting, but we also know that anything having to do with Team Trump is non-traditional. What's also interesting here, Vlad, is that in that statement that the incoming Chief of Staff released, Susie Wiles, she also said that they would not be taking taxpayer funds for this transition. And typically, administrations do. In that case, they can only accept up to $5,000 in donations. And if they're using private money, you know, someone could donate millions or even $1 billion, and they don't have to disclose that because it's not taxpayer funds. So that is something that we are asking a lot of questions about, Vlad.
And so my understanding, Weijia, when I saw the interview that CBS Mornings did earlier with Jake Sullivan, the National Security Advisor, is that he did have discussions with his incoming counterpart in the Trump administration. So is that sort of a picture of what things could look like in the next couple of weeks?
Yes, exactly. There will be conversations and lots of meetings. They are what's called landing teams, basically people who are chosen to go in, collect information, have these conversations, and bring it back to the rest of the officials that will be working. So far, we don't know who exactly is on the landing team. In that case, it's a principal-to-principal meeting, but there are other people involved as well. And the Trump transition team said that they would disclose who is doing that work on behalf of the president-elect, but so far we don't know who's involved in this process. Again, the MOU was just signed yesterday.
All right, and let me ask you about this new cabinet member, Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, for Director of National Institutes of Health. This is someone who, as you know, Weijia, opposed COVID-era lockdowns. What are you hearing about that?
Well, that's exactly why his name is both famous and, or maybe I should say infamous, because of his stance during the pandemic. And he was very vocal about it. He wrote an entire declaration that offered something alternative to lockdowns because he really believed that that was the wrong move. And if you do remember, there were times where President-elect Trump also criticized lockdowns, even though his administration did put some into place. And so this is another example, Vlad, of Trump's desire to disrupt. He will be working hand in hand with his nominee for the Secretary of Health and Human Services, that's RFK Jr., if Kennedy is ultimately confirmed. And both of these gentlemen are known as being, you know, on the fringe of the norms when it comes to health and medicine. Of course, JFK Jr. is well known for being very critical of vaccines.
Indeed. All right, Weijia, great to see you, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving.
To you too, Vlad.